A bombshell development in the new Black Panther Party voter intimidation case. You'll remember this incident outside a Philadelphia polling place on Election Day 2008. These men were accused of intimidating white voters, but the Department of Justice ultimately dropped almost every charge against them despite the evidence. One of the Justice Department attorneys who was in the middle of that decision-making process was subpoenaed months ago to testify before the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights about what happened, but was allegedly told by department officials to ignore the subpoena. Well, on Friday, he decided to tell his story under oath. One of the commissioners who heard that sworn testimony, Todd Gaziano, joins us live, along with Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch, who says top DOJ officials may be lying about this case. Gentlemen, welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, there are two primary attorneys we've heard from. One left the DOJ, J. Christian Adams, and then Christopher Coates, still with the DOJ. He testified on Friday. Adams had testified under oath that they were told to ignore their subpoenas. Commissioner, let me ask you about that situation. Any privilege the department may have of blocking their testimony? And secondly, what did you think once Mr. Coates testified on Friday?
Well, as far as the stonewalling that's gone on from the Department of Justice, they have no privilege that overrides the statute that requires every federal agent to, quote, comply fully with the requests of the Civil Rights Commission, except presidential executive privilege. And they have confirmed the president has not invoked executive privilege. So it is unlawful, the stonewalling that has been going on for over a year. As far as the testimony we've been trying to get for 10 months, I can't say I was entirely shocked, because it confirms the sworn testimony of 3 others, not only Christian Adams, who testified live, but we have 2 other sworn affidavits that confirm the same hostility to race-neutral enforcement of the civil rights laws. But what did deeply sadden me was the degree of hostility and harassment and how broad it was in the Civil Rights Division. Mr. Coates recounted story after story of harassment of his trial team, including African Americans who would agree to work on a suit against a minority. They were told stories like, I didn't join the Justice Department to sue black people. And Mr. Coates also testified that almost all the supervisors, currently the political appointees in the division, have this hostility. And he named names: Loretta King, Steve Rosenbaum, Julie Fernandez, and others. I don't see how the department can avoid commenting on the story now.
Yeah, because we're talking about basically officials in place, according to this testimony, who do not want to prosecute cases that involve minority people who are accused, like the men that we saw at the polling place in that video. Now, Tom, let me ask you, Judicial Watch has been very important in this case and pushing for documents, suing when you've had to, filing Freedom of Information Act filings when you have to. What have you found through the documents you've been able to get that make you think that there could be more to this story?
Well, it's incredible to me that the Commission on Civil Rights can't get the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department to cooperate in an investigation of race-based decision-making in the department. Members of Congress can't get anywhere, and that's why Judicial Watch started asking for documents well over a year ago. Justice Department gave us the hand to the face. We sued in court, and just last week they gave us a list of documents telling us a list of documents that they're not going to give to us and trying to justify what they're not giving to us. But in detailing that, it showed that they probably have been lying to the Commission and to members of Congress and to the public generally when they say politicos, political appointees, political leadership was not involved in the decision to drop any of these Black Panther charges. It shows that the number 2, the number 3 of the department were involved. Other political officials were involved deeply in the decision to drop it. And it also shows the Attorney General may have even been briefed on this issue, and that just belies everything they've been telling us. The Commission asked outright the head of the Civil Rights Division, Tom Perez, was there any political leadership involved in the decision? And he said no. Documents show that's not true.
All right, I want to, we've reached out to the Department of Justice, and I want to give you a little bit of the statement that they sent back to us on that question of whether people from the administration, political appointees, got involved in this decision to drop most of that case against the new Black Panther Party members. They say, quote, "It has been made clear that the career attorneys in the Civil Rights Division," those would be people not political appointees, "made the decisions regarding the disposition of the case, including the decision to dismiss certain claims. These career attorneys briefed leadership offices about their decision-making and provided answers to relevant questions." So it seems like there's a bit of a fine line there. Could they be discussing these questions with them, informing them about what they've decided, but the political leadership wasn't the group making those decisions? Commissioner, what do you think?
Two reactions. First of all, the Judicial Watch privilege log, by the way, it's shocking that they got it when before the commission. The commission asked for the same thing. We should have actually gotten the documents and not just the privilege log. But it, for example, shows that the person, Stephen Rosenbaum, who supposedly was making the decision, had 8 emails on a particular critical day with someone in the higher level political appointees, Mr. Hirsch. And you wouldn't have 8 emails back and forth just to inform someone. And the titles of these emails are very revealing. This isn't just FYI, here's our decision. It was sending back and forth a document. So it's incredible for me to believe. But we also had Greg Katsas, the former acting Associate Attorney General, testify at a previous hearing. And he essentially said that it was inconceivable to him that a decision to dismiss a suit after it had been won, essentially won on a default judgment, could have been made without higher up people being involved in the department.
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is to release these documents. There are 611 pages of documents that are being withheld in our lawsuit. Obviously, the commission's not getting anywhere. So to have more misinformation come out of the Justice Department, the spokespeople who have been treating this as a political campaign issue as opposed to a fact issue, these are significant charges. The head of the voting rights section of the Justice Department, who was forced out, testified the Justice Department is making decisions based on race and civil rights enforcement. It's explosive, and to have a spokesman just say, well, it just shows that career people are talking to other career people, in the face of the testimony, in the face of the documents that we uncovered, shows justice can't be trusted on this. You need independent investigations like the Commission and Judicial Watches. And in our case, a federal court may require the Justice Department to release some of these documents as withholding. So we'll see what happens.
We will follow your cases. We'll follow the Commission's hearing as that continues as well, and watch to see if this ends up on Capitol Hill and congressional hearings as well. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.